Hey guys, Caddy to the Llama coming back at you with a another album review. Today I'm going to be talking about Saigon's new album, Saigon's new album, Pain, Peace, and Prosperity. And I was honestly really blown away by this album. I really enjoyed it. It's an album it's probably the first album I've really enjoyed in at least a month. It's hard to think back and remember exactly which album I could probably put on and really enjoy a lot of different kind of songs and a lot of different kind of content from a single artist. Um, just going into Saigon a little bit. He's another older rapper. He's been around for a little bit. Been around since about 2000. He's a East Coast New York style rapper, so got a little bit of more of that kind of grimy, hitch in the mouth type feel, and that kind of comes through on the album a little bit. You know, um, a lot of different, um, a lot of different themes, a lot of different subjects he talks about in this album. It's very deep. He talks a lot about gun violence, both the positives and the negatives. He's lost a lot of friends. He's lost his brother to gun violence, um, but also the positives of the guns are there to protect you. And he has had to use a gun to protect himself before. He talks a lot about friends he's lost and family he's lost, friends that have turned their back on him. A lot of different content, which I really enjoy. I think I think a lot of time people when they are reviewing an album or they listen to a specific artist and they like a specific sound from an artist, they can they can be they can lose themselves in what they want and not what the artist is giving them. I've seen some people talking about this album and how there are tracks on here that are not very good, that disappoint because they don't have the Saigon sound, and and I think that's more the reviewer getting caught up in what they want out of Saigon instead of taking this album for what it was. Um, lot of different content. It's a 18 track, 20 track album, and it's a solid 20 tracks. There's not a song on here that's a minute long or minute two 40 seconds long. These are solid 3 minute plus songs. And a lot of verses, a lot of different features. Um, we're looking at Vitabuzz theme, Cool G, Rap, Lil Bibby, Memphis Bleak, um, J Vark and the Pimptations, Axel Leon and Titus, Javon Diaz. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Diaz, uh, Bam Vito, Jermaine Paul, Ruff, OT the Real, and we got Cassidy. If you're a older generation rapper, middle generation rapper, guys that grew up listening to rap in the late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s, we definitely know who Cassidy is. He was a hammer, in the mid 2000s. Not very many people could be on the level of Cassidy lyrically, especially lyrically. He's very, very talented. Um, of the album, I'm going to say track two, Head Blown, track three, Two for $5, um, track 13, Same Old Me, track 18, Deeper, and then the final track of the album, the Co-op Cypher with Cassidy and Mo Money, are my favorite tracks on the album. I really like Head Blown. I'm kind of not exactly a cloud rap fan, but like Cottonmouth Kings style, smoking pod type. I like that type of rap, and Head Blown is that kind of song. It definitely hits you with, it's about being high, and it's a very very fun song. 2 for $5 has probably the best. 2 for $5 probably has the best scheme of all the songs on this album. I thought it was just very creative. The whole track is about things that are cheap in today's world, and stuff that Saigon sees as very cheap. Things that are 2 for $5, 2 for $5. Whack rappers, Instagram women, loose women, drugs. Like these things are 2 for $5. Super cheap and easily replaceable. Shit he doesn't want in his life. And things that he thinks are a waste. And I really thought that how he hits the song is just really really good. I think how he continues to come back to the theme of 2 for $5, 2 for $5. Like I really enjoyed that. A lot of punch, in this album, especially early on. And then it kind of evolves a little bit, kind of comes back to a little bit of punch later on in the album, especially with the final track. It's definitely a little bit of it's got some punch to the beat, with Cassidy. And then Mechanical Animals, which is a remix. It's got a little bit of punch to it. The beats, I think that I really like an artist who doesn't get stuck on doing one type of sound, and I find that that's something that people had a problem with this album, is that he didn't stay with one specific sound, the Saigon sound, and I enjoyed it, he was a little experimentative, with some of the stuff he was doing. One of the things was, it's a lot of smooth beats throughout the album. There are the ones that punch you in the mouth, but some smooth tracks, a lot of piano work, chime work. There's tracks with some horns, light string work throughout the album. There's one specific song, the D, track 9, which gives you a definite the Temptations type vibe, the 80s, 70s kind of R&B type sound. Kind of jokey, not really fully. It's definitely an attempt at a bedroom type song, but it's not, not over sensual. It's got a little Temptations. I mean, that's the one with Jay Vark and the Pimptations on it. So maybe that's makes sense that it's the one that sounds kind of like a Temptations type R&B song. Not too much talk of ladies in this album. It's a lot of kind of gang shit type album. And then my probably the top song I really, really liked was Deeper, featuring OT the Real. Um, I'm a huge fan of songs that are about digging deeper and trying to find that next level of yourself, working harder, um, going to the, you know, evolving as a person, those type of tracks, and that's definitely that type of song. Different vibe, beat wise throughout than the rest of the album, but something I felt, it didn't throw me off the thunder of the rest of the album. It fit in. It fit in just fine. Um, Lyrically, very great. Um, no limitations on him lyrically. I mean, there are times where he's in some tracks where he's rhyming, he's rhyming 12, 13, 14 lines, boom, in a row, you know, and staying in the structured scheme, staying in the theme of the song, and um, just really, really good. I mean, it's not a lot of there's not a lot of deep doubles or triple entendres or anything like that. There's not a lot of super deep doubles or anything like that. But lyrically, um, the $5 song. I mean, he goes on a whole, holla, scala, $5, Valhalla. Dude's a Chihuahua when he thinks he's a Rottweiler. Like he goes on a whole run of stuff that lyrically very, very good. He hits the the vowel rhymes and the traditional rhymes very, very well. Um, Flow wise, jumps around. Different flows through different songs, different flows in songs. Um, I think it's a very, very good album. It's one of the better albums I've listened to recently. Um, and got through it one time, downloaded the whole thing, put a couple of the tracks on my favorite track list. Like it it's a very good album that I will not have any problem throwing it on at number one and listening to the whole album all the way through multiple times. I've already done it multiple times. I'm going to do it, for fun, not just for a review or anything like that. This is going into my personal library of music that I'm going to be listening to and come back to. I think this is definitely a rapper that not a lot of people know about. I was perusing his YouTube channel earlier, and some of these tracks don't even have 600 views, and I think that's a disappointment. I think that people are really missing out on this artist. This is one of those guys where I hope when people really start following my channel and really start looking at, the album reviews and stuff, not just of artists that they know, but artists that they want to, they want to find stuff out about. I hope this is one that people listen to and they go and check out, because this guy will surprise you. Super talented. The features are, didn't disappoint. It's a very good album that was released this year, and that nobody ever talks about, and I think that's a shame. So if you're looking for something, that could surprise you, that you could like lyrically, this is definitely the album you want to try to listen to. I hope I find more like this. This is the type of guy I'm looking for, where nobody knows who he is, and he surprises. He surprises on everything, So that's going to be it for this one, guys. Hit me up in the comments if you've listened to the album, if you're a fan of Saigon. Um, um, hit the like, subscribe button. Keep following the journey. I got one more album review and an anime review coming out today, as well as my first movie review. So just jump along for the journey. We're gonna keep cruising, and keep pumping these out. So I appreciate you guys, and catch you in the next one.